Hello and welcome to the monthly Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to us.fm/Sharmalade and I will do my best to answer your question as long as it's not too rude. Question number 1. Do you prefer cookie dough or waffles? And that's from Shanbaz Khan. That's what an incredible name. You sound like a warrior. Cookie dough or waffles? Cookie dough or waffles? Well, that's a tough one because you can get savoury waffles and sweet waffles. And I really, really like the sweet waffles with Belgium. Is it Belgium? I think they're called Belgian waffles with vanilla ice cream and a little bit of chocolate. I think that's just, like one of the nicest puddings. But if we're going to go with cookie dough or savoury waffles, like potato waffles, then I would go with cookie dough. Why did you quit playing Final Fantasy XIV so suddenly, and do you have fond memories of the game? So I have this tendency to bounce around between MMOs all the time. I'm always bouncing around between not just MMOs, just lots of different games in general, and I find that I get really into tunnel one game, and then I'm like, I don't log into it for a week, and then I'm like, I'm kind of bored, I want to play something different, and then I'll bounce over to something else. Like previously I was playing Guild Wars 2. I created a new character and I was just running around doing map completion and stuff and really enjoying it and looking forward to playing it each day. And then I started playing World of Warcraft again, which I never stopped, but I started leveling alts. Too many alts, I'm done. So that was a thing. And then prior to that, I was playing Final Fantasy XIV. I was getting right into it and I was leveling up my trust avatars and trying to get them to level 80 so that I could really milk, I can't remember what it's called, but the final dungeon, Amarot's Rot or something. I can't remember what it's called, but the final level 80 dungeon that we recently got, because I really wanted to get my item level up so I could go and do the new Eden questline. And I still sub to all of these games. I still absolutely love them. I love playing them, but I like playing them kind of every now and then and just going completely ham on them and then changing it up. I'm actually currently playing Valheim and I'm playing it with Ian, and we've got our own separate servers, which I daren't log into mine because I don't build stuff, okay? Ian's the builder, I'm the gatherer and the cook. So we've got this nice little cushy server where he goes and I go out and I do all the gathering. I get all the bits and pieces that we need, like the wood, the stone, the ore, the food, the seeds, everything. And I bring it back to base and I'll come back and there's a whole new thing has been built. He's built a whole new extension to our gaff, and I'm like, wow, as I'm running over the fields, and I'm a little bit encumbered, so I'm running a bit slower, and then I see the lights in the distance, and it's there's 2 new stories to our house, and we've got a windmill, and there's all cool stuff going on. So at the moment I'm heavily invested in Valheim and I'm really enjoying playing it. It's early access at the moment. It's not even, I think it's about £15 on Steam, so if you're looking for a new game to play, it is a little bit annoying though. There are things about it that just really grind my gears, but I would say check it out. It's had really good reviews on Steam as well. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Tina's what I need, a little bit of That's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. Thank you, Anonymous. Can people get married after seeing each other a few months, or there's no need to rush? There is no need to rush. My parents got married quite not young. I mean, it's probably young for us now, because everything seems to be happening a lot later in life. People are having children later in life and getting married later in life and settling down later in life and all that. My mum and dad got married when they were about 23 or 24, and they were having kids at that stage as well. But Ian and I have been together for 14 years, and I have a ring and he has a ring, but we haven't sealed the deal with marriage because I think it's mostly on me, because I just don't necessarily believe in marriage, you know, a piece of paper, but there's legalities to it now, and I think it's probably kind of important to get married for those reasons, because we've got a mortgage and things like that. So that kind of, but I also want to call him, I think I've mentioned this in a previous Q&A before, but I also want to be able to call him my husband, because it's kind of weird to call him my boyfriend when we've been going out for 14 years and he's 42 and he's not a boy. And I don't really want to say man friend, because who says that? And saying partner can cause a bit of confusion, and it can sort of maybe give people the impression that, you know, I'm into like the opposite sex or whatever. So, and I would love to be able to call him my husband. I think ultimately that would be the reason for me wanting, which we will get married, and we'll have like a nice little registry wedding where we don't force our family and friends to sit through us going, we love each other so much. But we will invite them to the party. We'll just have a big party afterwards. Not that we can do it right now, but I think a registry wedding would be perfect for this time as well. We're in a pandemic, and it could just be Ian and I and our parents and the registrar. Is that what they're called? A registrar. So we will get married. But anyway, that's not enough about me. I think there's no rush, and you just take things at your own pace, and there's no pressure to do anything. And if you ever feel pressured into, time like ticking clocks, and you sort of think, oh, I'm getting older, and everyone should be settling down by 30, or I should be having kids by 30, or don't put an age on anything. Just let things happen organically. There's no reason to be sitting there and thinking by 30 I must be because that is putting so much unnecessary pressure on yourself and your world, and you don't need to do that. Just let things happen organically and naturally. What 3 countries would you like to visit? I really want to visit a lot of EU countries, to be fair. For holidays we usually go to Mallorca, which is lovely, and I never get tired of spending time in Mallorca. But I would love to just travel around some of the EU countries, and I have friends in EU countries that, I mean, they're just across the pond, so it would be nice to go and visit and hang out and have fun and see them after years of knowing them, like online. I really want to visit Wales and Scotland. I did go to Scotland once, but I didn't really do any sightseeing, but I really would love to go to Wales and Ireland. My mum and her partner at the time and my brother all went to Ireland years and years and years ago. And I just feel like there's something about Ireland that's just so magical. I feel so connected to, like, I feel called to going to Ireland, even though I've never been. I don't know anything about it. There's just something that I feel like there's a connection there, and I need to go. So maybe that will be my next place to go and see. Plus, I can take Maggie, my dog, and I always think, when you have dogs and animals that need looking after, like round the clock care, it's going on holiday. I always feel so mean, like such a mean parent. I'm so fortunate because my mum always looks after Maggie when I go away, so Maggie doesn't have to go into a kennel. She goes to like a familiar home. She knows my mum, obviously, and she's got her scent around my mum's house, so it's really nice for Maggie when we go on holiday. Obviously, I still miss her so much. It's like my heart breaks every day when I'm not around Maggie. But I also like to think that when we do go on holiday, whenever we get to take Maggie somewhere with us, I always think this is like such a better holiday. Like, Mallorca's great, but Maggie's not there. And like last year we went to go and stay in a little log cabin, but it was more like a kind of, it was incredible. It was like a massive log cabin. The whole front side of the house was glass. It was insane, and it had a hot tub and everything. And we got to take Maggie, and that was just a couple of hours drive away, and it was like one of the best holidays because I can have Maggie with me and she can enjoy it, and seeing her running through the forests, and it's such a nice feeling. Isn't it just the best feeling to watch your dog running around? It's just the nicest thing, and they're so happy and free. So I really enjoy taking Maggie on holiday, and I think that will definitely influence where I go in the future. You've just been attacked. The object to your right is your only weapon, and you're fighting the last person you've seen on TV. What's your scenario? Oh my god, this is hilarious. So, The object to my right is an art tablet, which I recently bought, and I don't know why, because I'm so bad at art. I got it because I wanted to try and figure out a little Sharm logo, so I can get something like a little branding thing on the go, and I want to use it for like little cups and like just little cute accessories and things like that, and I can have it as like a theme. Anyway, totally going off track. So the item to my right is an art tablet, and the last person I watched on TV whilst eating my cereal was Judge Judy. I can't fight Judge Judy, she'd kick my ass. The scenario, I've literally just, it sparked into my mind of Judge Judy and I being in her courtroom, and I'm trying to attack her with my, you know, in a fencer. Is it a fencer person that does the sword and that? And I'm in a fence position, and I've got my tablet like this. I guess kind of like a scholar in Final Fantasy. I've got my tablet and my pen, and I'm looking at Judge Judy, and Bird's there, and he's prepared to take me down. What time of day is the best for you? I know I answered something similar to this in my last Q&A, and it used to be nighttime, but ever since then something crazy's happened and I am sleeping really, really well. It's like this 180 that I do on a 6-month basis where I sleep perfectly like a baby and everything's great and everything's in sync, and I'm up when the sun's up and I'm asleep when the moon's up. And then all of a sudden something happens. Like, I might struggle to get to sleep just one night, and I can't get to sleep till like 6 o'clock in the morning or something stupid, and that's it. I'm done. My sleep cycle and my life pattern is just completely in disarray for the next 6 months. But right now, this is the best time for me, daytime. Plus it's getting sunny here at last, which is so nice because we're coming out of winter, and winter obviously for everyone during the pandemic and lockdown and everything has been long. It's felt so long and so claustrophobic, and we haven't, like when we go out with Mags, it's normally just for like 5 or 10 minutes at a time because it's just so horrible out and it's cold, and it's, you know, Maggie's getting old now. She's 10 and she's not that old, but she's getting to a point where, like, when I look at her, I think, oh, you know, she does look a little bit, she's getting all lumpy, and but it's so nice that the sun's coming out now, and what a difference the sun makes just for a blue sky, and when you look outside and it's not all grey and rainy, and you can just, everything just feels happier when the sun's out. So I'm so pleased that we finally hit spring. Anyway, that is it for this month's Q&A. Thank you for your awesome questions, and sorry about the backlog, there still is one. If you would like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to us.fm/Sharmalade, and I will do my best to answer your question. As I said, there is a backlog, so stay tuned. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Stay safe, look after each other, and I will see you again soon.